Good morning, Acadiana, and welcome to another edition of Morning Coffee with Big Al
and Special T.
We're happy to be coming to you from Cypress Street Radio, AOC Community streaming broadcast.
Look for us every day of the week. Our 8 a.m. show will start your morning off right. That's right in a good way.
Not right as in radical right. We bring you good ideas, good pastimes, and who knows what else.
with
a progressive
flair. Oh gosh. Our 7 p.m. stream also is a great backdrop for some decaf and peace of mind. Actually, if you're getting ready to start your day at nighttime, you can use some caffeinated beverage too. But either way, get something to enjoy, drinking, sit back and enjoy the show.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea, and we wouldn't propose to limit your choice of beverages.
On the later
one, or on the morning one for that matter.
Too many times we're forgetting about people who really are like on the reverse cycle, the people who sleep during the daytime and work all night. They may be watching our morning coffee show at 7 o'clock and they don't want decaf. They want something that's going to pick them up and get them ready to start their night.
Yeah, that's a possibility, I guess. I don't know.
Or they could be on the other side of the world.
That's true too. It could be some of our fans in Korea,
South Africa,
Japan, South Africa,
Russia, Ukraine. Oh,
Azerbaijan.
Yeah. So either way, hi everybody. We welcome you to our show. We have a lot of things going on. And as you can tell, we're dressed a little bit warmer than usual because it's actually starting to be true fall.
Yeah, it has cooled down a little bit.
Winter doesn't start until December.
Yeah, that's what I seem to have read at some point. But I don't know. I think it got down into the upper 30s last night and the night before. So, it's cooled down a little bit, but it'll be back up in the 80s. I think the day after. Well, I think tomorrow actually it'll be up into the 80s.
Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't turn on my heater. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. And so I just left my air conditioner on. And, it didn't turn on because it went below the level of when it feels like it needs to cool things off, and I don't usually have mine very low, and but I got an extra blanket, and I just wrapped up in it like I was in a teepee, and brought that into the bed with me, and it was like just warm as a bug in the rug, so it was fine.
I've I have kind of a thin blanket that I put on my bed to keep, a little bit warmer. I mean, it's, I think from what I've read, I think we're supposed to sleep better when it's cooler, and,
I'm a tropical girl, truly.
Yeah.
And I do not sleep better when it's colder. I just shiver. Yes.
Well, I mean, you have to stay. I mean, you have to, if your body's warm, I mean, you don't want to compromise on the comfort. But
if I go into a room that's 68 degrees, I'm freezing.
Well, I keep my house generally warmer than that. I mean, particularly when I'm just cooling it, for the summer.
Yeah. But there's people who really like that. And, when I'm visiting, I'm like, can I please have a blanket?
Well, it's like one of the stores around here is, they keep it, to me, unusually cool in there. And I don't know what the thinking is behind it, because it's bound to cost them, bound to increase the operating expenses, unless it's a day like today where you don't have to have any, you can just blow some cool air from the outside in. But I don't know, I guess I'm not a grocery store manager.
Yeah, I think the stressors on the grid are a lot higher and harder in the summertime and keeping it cool than keeping
Yeah.
it. For one thing, there's so many people who don't have electrical heat.
Yeah.
They have gas that's directly gas from like Atmos or whatever. So it's not as big of a drain on the system. But anyway, we hope everybody's comfortable, and it's a whole lot easier, I think, to cool off. I mean, to warm up than to cool off. I mean, if you're really hot, I mean, you can take everything off and you can still be hot, but if you get enough blankets and stuff, you can stay warm. But on that note, it's a whole lot easier, I think, to die from the cold than the heat. I mean, it comes both ways.
Probably. I mean, I don't think I've ever looked at those statistics, but that seems like a fairly reasonable assumption. But I guess it depends. If you're in Texas,
it gets cold in Texas. You get up in that panhandle, the part that sticks up. I mean, it gets really cold there. I spent a Thanksgiving in Pampa, Texas one year.
Pampa, huh? Yeah. I've been up there. I've driven through there when it's pretty cool. I mean, it was snowing in New Mexico because I had stopped in
Muleshoe.
Well, it's north of the capital, about 60 miles. It's actually one of the oldest cities or the oldest non-Native American city.
And in the state of Texas?
No, it's in New Mexico, but it's in.
Well, I can start guessing.
The name escapes me right now.
Not Ruidosa. Yeah.
No. It's got two words.
Two words in New Mexico.
Yeah. But it's known for
Come on now, you need to get some facts here.
Well, I mean, I bet I can find it right quick. I wanted to try skiing, and I happened to be going through New Mexico at the time, and it just kind of came to me that there was was it Albuquerque? Yeah, Santa Fe, that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going through Albuquerque at the time.
Santa Fe, 2 words. Oh.
Yeah, Santa Fe. Yeah. And I had to be in Oklahoma City on that Monday.
Okay.
I was like the weekend, and I figured I'd heard there was snow skiing up in Santa Fe, and figured might as well try it. And I guess after I'd been there for a while, it was just me and the instructor, because everybody else in the group class canceled for some reason or didn't show up or whatever.
Interesting. That was
that was nice. It's because it's costs more.
One-on-one there.
Yeah, and it started snowing a little bit harder, and he says, "Oh, wow, this is what we've been waiting for." And I said, "Oh, really? What's that?" And I said, "Well, it was, I think, basically a blizzard coming." I said, "Oh, really? Well, tell me more about that." Because he says, "Well, yeah, they'll probably close 40, which was the road I was going east towards Oklahoma City on."
Right.
And I said, I really hate to cut this short, but I probably need to leave because I can't afford to. I got to be there on Monday. And so, at any rate, I had just purchased my Jeep. I don't know if you remember that. That was pretty good while back that I got that, but it was I got it out near Phoenix, somewhere around there, and
you shop far when you shop for your cars, don't you?
Well, I look for what I want, and then if it's like my latest, I got north of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's
That might be, a thing for people that are listening to think about. I mean, you don't have to go to the dealer next door. You can shop all over the country, wherever you are.
That's
with the internet.
That's basically true, and you can have it shipped, or you can, fly up there. I mean, it cost me, I guess, basically about $100 to fly up to Chicago, and
you could have gone by train from here.
Yeah,
it would have taken longer, but it would have been cheaper. Well, I don't know. I think it would have been cheaper.
That's hard to say. It's I have priced trains sometimes, and
it's
sometimes
cheaper
it's hard to make the connection.
It's definitely less if there's one person. Versus two.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that.
Like double.
Unless they have the two can ride for a price of less than one special going on.
Yeah, they should do that sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're talking about speaking about cost and travel on the radio today. They said that the airlines are making like really big profits, American especially, and that the cost of tickets now is about 140% what it was.
Really?
Yeah, and we just had an experience with American Airlines, and I'm going to be trying to contact the CEO. Hello, CEO, about that flight that went all the way to Vancouver and turned around, went back all the way to Dallas and changed planes and then started over again. I mean, that just seemed, and plus that it was communicated to the people in the plane that there was something wrong with the plane and that they didn't want to take it over water. And so, I mean, talk about trauma, I mean, my kids
going from where to Vancouver?
Vancouver back to Dallas because they didn't want to go.
So you started out in Dallas?
It was going to go. It was headed all the way over on the other side of the world. And they got all the way from Dallas to Vancouver and then turned around, came back, said something's wrong with the plane in Vancouver. Okay. And they told that to the people on the plane, and we're getting messages like, pray for us, whatever,
Oh, okay.
I mean, hello?
Well, it could have been they forgot to put life rafts on it or something.
I don't know, but
wasn't certified for over water flights.
They could have done something different.
Yeah, the airline industry has been kind of, I don't know, it's been affected, that's for sure.
Well, it's been affected by the politics too, where the business with the masks and people punching each other on the plane and pulling people out of their seat because they wanted somebody else to sit there, and they pick a Asian doctor, I mean, hello, this is just, something's wrong. This is just wrong. Anyway.
Yeah, some of it, I mean, I know it's kind of a bad thing, but it's hard not to see the humor in what some of the people, what they think's okay to do.
Funny. If it was a cartoon, it would be funny, but it wasn't. Yeah. It was real.
Well, it's like a cartoon in a way sometimes. I mean, it's like a non-animated cartoon, but I've seen some of that, and some people, there's been a few people that have got prison sentences and pretty good fines for
doing what
you just don't do that on airplane. It's definitely being retiree from the aviation industry. I'm kind of, that's something
you kind of
don't do is screw around on the airplane.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, just because. Actually, there's a lot of things you shouldn't mess around with, but it's been happening more than I remember.
Especially Jim.
Who?
Jim.
Jim?
Yeah, with bad Leroy Brown and all that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The lyrics to the song, folks. If you're really young, you may not remember this, but it's Leroy Brown and Don't Mess Around with Jim. So anyway, don't mess around with Texas either. So, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, unless it's the electrical grid, because I
You know, I
wonder how
was
they're going to
really
do this
close.
year. I
I
wonder.
was really close to that electrical grid. You know, I had been at the heart of the grid in Texas.
Yeah.
I had been in there. I worked close to it for a while, and
Well,
it was a long time ago. It was in the 70s, and it wasn't secured.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure of the timeline on that, but when you don't have the redundancy that you do when you're connected to the national grid, which most of I think there's 3 areas in Texas, in the west, north, and east that are connected.
Mm-hmm.
A small portion, maybe 10% of Texas or something like that, is connected to the national grid. But if you have problems and you don't have that backup,
Yeah.
it makes it where a few people can make more money apparently because of the way
Well, you remember Enron.
the smartest people in the office or whatever
Oh,
it was.
man.
Yeah, I mean, but it's that's unfortunate, but that's what some people think is a good idea. And
they did, and they paid for it highly. I think Skilling's still in jail. He may not be.
I don't know. I hadn't
heard anything about him, but what's his name? The other guy committed suicide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
The top guy, and he and another executive CEO that I know used to always try to outdo each other. The other guy went under the radar.
Yeah.
I know he did. What was his name? Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Let's see here. Smartest guys in the room. That's what the show was, I think. But
oh my. No, Skilling and
14. Okay. He's been released.
Oh, okay. Okay. What happened? What was the other guy's name? The one that committed suicide?
Ken Lay, maybe?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
That's him. Yep. Very sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
They always say suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, people need to remember that. And there's too much of that going on, too, especially with kids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, he was a Harvard graduate. I don't know, some of the stuff they teach and some of the business classes, it's just
that's changed. I can say confidently that the business school teachings have changed. They have, and unless they've changed back after this last 4 years, they were incorporating ethics into business school. Now, maybe
really?
it's the school I went to, but they had incorporated an ethics instruction, actually by an attorney where I went. And it was a good class.
Really?
And I could see the contrast, having been a very late MBA student.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to do like 4 years of leveling to get to the point where I was back into school system. But anyway, I could see the contrast between school in the 70s and school in the 90s. It was a big difference. Because they did incorporate that. And, I was always in business school, so.
Well, ethics is kind of if you have to ask yourself, do you think, like with Enron, for instance, do you think it's okay if we jack up these prices however many 100 or 1,000% and screw all these people and
make it where they don't have any electricity, and so they have to pay more and do brownouts and actually all of it's artificial and not really necessary. I think it's pretty clear that was something you shouldn't do. Well, we didn't, you know,
Yeah.
the people that are working there that are on the ground had no idea. I mean, we're just like flounders, you know. Anyway, I'm down there under on the surface in the sand, kind of going, oh, hide me.
Well, I mean, there's so many. I mean, the stuff that, and maybe it's some of the carryovers that didn't get the ethics training, but there's so much unethical stuff going on
Oh,
that
man.
you know, it's sounds
It's
like somebody
worrisome.
needed
It
to
really
retake
is
the course.
worrisome. I got a new
Huh?
book. I got a new book that I ordered by recommendation of somebody who had actually been someone looking at elections 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and the caveat from that particular person is we need poll watchers in the registrar's office. I don't think that's, you know, I think it's small towns. I don't think it's, you know, cities that are, I don't know. You know, you have your registrars. I think Lafayette's okay. I mean, I have confidence that the people there are up and up. I think that what I would worry about sometimes are the poll watchers, you know, the ones that are there to obstruct the process, you know, like the ones that go in and try to shut down Congress.
Well, I think I would definitely think I'd have to say something if I saw, you know, that kind of action going on, because,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, the thing is, there's so many outnesses, you know, so many things that are out on the election system. I mean, now I don't think it's worth storming the Capitol and, you know, trying to shut down the.
No, but having a level of you know, communications and a reporting process, you know, where they actually do look into irregularities, and that's the job of the poll watcher. I mean, if you see people who are supposed to be counting picking up a pencil, you know,
Yeah.
that's something wrong with that, you know.
Well,
and marking ballots, you know.
yeah, that would be kind of,
It
particularly if the
happens.
pencil has an eraser on it, you know.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but you know, for one thing, the money needs to be totally taken out of it.
Yes, absolutely. We need to go back to where when you have your ballots, you have an opportunity to say, yes, put some money into the pool for elections.
Yeah, that would be,
and that's how the money would be distributed, and would be distributed evenly. You know,
well,
I know that.
Yeah, and you know, that's another thing. It's like, why should anybody have to pay for somebody to run for office? Okay, I mean, that should be, you know, like, who's going to pay for it? Well, I mean, for one thing, the different media places they got a gravy deal on the airwaves, and that could be part of their.
That should be something that's built into the system, that
Right.
all of the media outlets are expected to provide a certain amount of time, and it's up to the candidates to address the public and to address them in a way that they can show their desirability as being our representatives, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I see a possible issue with, you know, how do you qualify a candidate? I mean, there's certain qualifications, obviously, like, I mean, you have to be 35 to run for president and all that, but then, you know, you're bound to have some group that's going to get, you know, if you had something like that, you have a group that tries to get everybody to run, you know, I mean, and just to create chaos. And it's like just find me another 11,800 votes and everything will be great. I mean, it's,
Hello.
but
Ah,
it's, I guess, some people tell me it's human nature and all that, but
I
there's
don't
a
think a
lot of
lot of us
things.
thought about cheating.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like to vote early because it's convenient.
Yes, and it should be
Um,
made more convenient for
oh
everybody.
yeah,
But
yeah. And speaking of that, I guess we're at the point. This may be the last show we do before the
the
November
election.
8th election.
So it's
And
time to tell everybody that check out your Go Vote app. Look at all
right,
the dates. See what's most convenient for you. You can sign up on Go Vote to get forms sent to you. You can write directly to your registrar, whoever they are. That the Go Vote app is better, I think, than it was. They've got it set up with a grid, and it looks like it answers a lot of questions.
I never had any complaints with it. I mean, I always thought it was pretty good. But let me see here.
Well, let's tell them how it's spelled. Those things don't show. They don't show real well on the screen. GENUX. That's Louisiana. Yeah. That's go. That's go with the X because you didn't know how to do your thing. Okay, that sounds like a signal as it's time for us to take a break. So we encourage you while we're breaking to go and look at your Go Vote app. Put it on your phone if you haven't already. Maybe we'll play something that shows you a little tutorial about using the Go Vote. Maybe we can find that, and that will be our interim instructional information. What do you call them? Infomercial.
Yeah. So, well, I'm wondering.
We got.
Is it too late to register now, or?
Yes, it's too late. October 11th was the date. So let's take a break right now and tell people if you're not registered yet, still go ahead and register, because if you register now and there's a runoff, you'll be able to vote.
That's a good point. Very good point. And y'all have a good break, and we'll be back.
Yes, we will. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're welcoming ourselves back.
Welcome.
We thought we might look at the amendments a little bit.
We could do that.
That one. But I'd like to talk a little bit about, like, a little quick announcement about the Kiev Ballet. It's a quick spot because I know our show will run for a while, but the Kiev Ballet is playing Sunday night. I believe it's at the Hyman Center. I could be wrong.
Oh, you're talking about, you had mentioned that. Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be out of town for that, but it's been a while since I've seen a ballet.
Yeah, since my daughter left town, but anyway. This is the Kiev company from Kiev, Ukraine.
Yeah.
And like I've been telling people, it's almost like an act of patriotism to support them. If you're in a way, they're here and their home is being ravaged, and for no good reason that I can see, and that a lot of other people can see either. So, I thought about, trying to run the thing where Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was the Terminator, movie star, all that stuff, bodybuilder. It's a really revealing and heartfelt address from him to the Ukrainian people, and like we had discussed, in a talk yesterday, that it really is soul bearing what he says. So I recommend everybody look on YouTube and watch Arnie. He's talking from the heart.
Yeah, I've always kind of liked him. he's got his faults just like everybody else. But
Oh yeah, no one's perfect.
yeah, they
except I'm not going to say it. It's not me.
Yeah.
Just thinking about somebody who thinks they're perfect while the lawsuits keep piling up for all the bad things they've done. So
anyway. Yeah, there's a few of those, but let's see what we wanted to talk about.
That one amendment that has to do with what do they call it in the amendment? It's
I'm gonna have a look at it here.
I think it's number 7.
Yeah, it is. It's Act 246-HB 298 of 2022 revised statutes would prohibit the use of slavery and involuntary servitude except as applied to the lawful administration of criminal justice. Now, I'm not really, that's kind of a nebulous.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, what am I voting for?
Yeah, right. And it says a vote for would prohibit slavery and involuntary servitude except as applied to the otherwise lawful administration of criminal justice. Okay, and a vote against would retain the existing language prohibiting slavery and involuntary servitude, except in the latter case as punishment for a crime. Now, I mean, I recall that.
So is it a corporate or is it not corporate?
I don't,
I mean, what do? You get these guys that come in a truck and.
Well, maybe
Yes, it's my laws that I make up. I don't know. And you did a crime, and so this is how you get off. I don't know.
Well, they have a show now, the prison firefighters or whatever.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it's if they go out and fight fires, they can, shorten their sentences or something. I've never seen it. I mean, it's kind of like.
That's a hard job. That is one of the hardest jobs there is. My next door neighbor was a firefighter. My next door neighbor, I grew up as a little kid. He was always president of the club because the way we got the president was we ran around the block to see who could run the fastest. And we jumped out of trees to see who could jump out of the highest branch and land on the ground and survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it's vice president. No, not always. But anyhow.
Well, I mean, there's something, and I'm trying to think if it's the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution or what about that.
Right, it's a federal.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not really.
And one supersedes the other, or should.
Well, this says, it seems like, I mean, listen to this, would prohibit slavery and involuntary servitude. And the other one says, would retain the existing language prohibiting slavery and involuntary servitude. So it's kind of hard for me to make a distinction there. I guess this is like I guess I'd have to read the whole thing, all the specific.
And supposedly there was a show that said that, okay, if this passes, there's going to be an immediate amendment to it to fix the problem, really? Supposedly.
Well, I guess.
But what if they don't get around to? I don't know. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that's kind of.
It's like a
promise them anything.
There's a big effort by some to say no to that, and because it's not right. They say it needs to be addressed, but it needs to be addressed better from the start. So,
well, yeah, because this is by reading what I got here from a Republican.
We don't want to read that. We want to read PARS.
Well, yeah, well, that's
the non-biased one.
Well, I don't have one of those.
We need to look at that. I don't think we should be spewing somebody's personal opinion. I think we need to look at the organization who's
PARS?
PARS. It stands for something, and it comes every year. It comes every year out where you can access it, and it pulls up the actual amendment. It tells what it means. It tells you if you vote yes, what it does, if you vote no, what it does. So you can make a decision and in your mind know which way you're supposed to vote on it. So that's what I would suggest. I mean, I know that there's a faction of folks that are saying, oh, yes, this looks good. And then others who are supposedly just as informed who say no. So anyway, I don't know what this is.
Well, like I say, I didn't.
Oh my! I've got to take this call.
Okay. Well,
I've got to take this call. I'm sorry. So anyway, I finished that call. We just had like a little blip. We'll put them back together. Hello, everybody. We're still talking about the amendments, I think. So anyway, we're not sure what to do. Like I had said, they need to go to PARS and look that.
Yeah, and just to clarify, it's PAR, PAR. Yeah, PARS.
Well, it's apostrophe. To me, it's apostrophe S.
I guess you could say that, or you could, if you spell it out, but it's
PAR.
PAR, just to be
clear.
Give people some
the right
information
picture
that may save them from Googling too many times.
Yeah, don't put S in there because then you find something else.
Exactly. It's PAR, it's PAR Louisiana.org.
Good.
And it's something, proposed amendment. Let's see, what do they call it? But, it's proposed amendment. Let's see here. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the R stands. Resources, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah,
research,
that's
maybe research.
Could be research,
Yeah, because that's what they do.
Well, it says Public Affairs Research Council of Louisiana, but let's see. But in any case, if you go to PARLouisiana.org, you can find what you were looking for.
Yay! And, okay. And we talked about Arnie. Too.
About what now?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before I got that call.
Okay, I'm still not quite hearing what you're saying, but
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Arnie. Oh, okay. I thought you couldn't tell if you said Army or. I was like,
we talked about Army too. Army Navy.
Oh, we did. He had a little. I don't know.
His dad was in the war.
He did what?
Second World War. His dad was in the Second World War.
Right.
For the wrong side.
Yeah, definitely.
He admits that.
Well, it was a good. I like listening to him anyway. I like him, but what he had to say was, like you say, kind of soul exposing or something like that. Yeah. Whatever the term you used was, but
from the heart.
Yeah. But
so talking about that, that Veterans Day is coming up.
Oh, I know. Were we talking about today? What's this week?
This is the week of like the 22nd, 23rd is the start of the week.
No. Some kind of like the happy something week or something like that. I don't know.
It's International Credit Union Week.
Okay.
It's actually has been.
Yeah. We were going to mention
Credit Union Day
was to be one.
The day was the 20th. Is today the 20th? Yeah.
Well, the day we're actually recording this
It's the
is
20th. And so it was International Credit Union Day. And if you were a member of a credit union, I guess any credit union, you could go to your credit union and because there's some app, but it's probably gone now. So, but anyway, you could have.
We had a wheel to spin.
Well, a wheel to spin.
Yeah, and it was a little bit. Yeah.
I won a prize.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I did too. I won a pizza cutter, which I gave.
Maybe they're doing that all week.
Well, I think yesterday was the day. This was at the First Pioneers.
Oh, you know what happened? I heard about it from somebody on the other side of the world, and it was your day today. Yes, their today is tomorrow for us.
Yeah. I think, like I say,
it's
today
very confusing all the time.
Well, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday.
Right. I think. I don't know. I really don't know. That's too hard for my brain right now.
Well, but really, there are some distinct advantages to credit unions, in my opinion.
Yes.
And
I learned in my master class that, actually I learned in undergraduate class too, that if you have access to a credit union, this is what I heard directly from the professor, that you should always keep at least $1 in it so you have the advantages that are part of the way that credit unions run. They have typically better interest rates, and they can give better loans.
Yeah.
For two things.
And for one reason, they're not paying the, high management, the CEOs and stuff like that, millions and millions of dollars to, be glorified accountants, I guess. But
right. Or financial, whatever you call them, financial advisors, whatever.
I know it's taken, obviously they're going to make some money. I don't know.
They're just on a different spectrum than the
banks don't like them.
No, the banks don't like them.
Right.
Because they can do these things. And they feel like they're getting, a special treatment.
Well, and everybody that's a member is also, in a sense, a stockholder.
Yes.
They're an owner, or, whatever you want to call it.
Correct.
But I've had one credit union that I've been doing business with for, I guess, almost 40 years now, that was associated with my air traffic control, which just for, posterity, since this will be recorded and be put on the internet, which it'll be, that's on the internet is forever. But today is National Air Traffic Controllers Day.
Congratulations to the air traffic controllers. And here I get a call from American Airlines. How about that? On that day.
Yeah.
Kind of a mess up that happened.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, they're wanting to fix it. So anyway.
Well, yeah, that's
interesting. And I told him, I said, well, with what happened, giving miles to, they're kind of hesitant probably to use your services anymore, but
Yeah, I guess if it's, the wing was about to fall off, and we had to go back to Dallas because they had another one there. Then that'd be kind of a.
No, I don't know. Whatever it was, they thought they did the right thing. So
yeah,
they did. Everybody survived, and
lived
even if there was some trauma on the way.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
they didn't have to duct tape them to the seat.
That's not funny.
Yeah.
It's like, those elections, all those things that the ethics and all that business. It's some of it.
Yeah, that does kind of get back to.
We're going back to the airline jokes. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about trauma.
Trauma.
And we talk about military trauma and Veterans Day.
Yeah.
I was going to share that the post, the VFW post on Colorado that ends up running into VFW Road or Boulevard or Street or something over in Tucson. I did not realize it was Tucson. You kind of can access it from Ridge Road and then to Colorado, I think, and then to the VFW Hall. And they've got a big old tank out there. I mean, a real tank just sitting there. Like the kind that go with shoot the bombs or missiles or whatever.
Just in case they were to get attacked.
Just in case we were to get attacked here in Texas or Louisiana, whatever. And they've got a wall. They've got a wall there too, like a memorial wall. But they are having a to-do there on the 10th of November.
Oh, yeah?
And they're going to have a band. And they're going to have a color guard. And so they're having an event. And I have something somewhere. Hold on just a second. Let me think. I think I got a flyer someplace. This. Hold on. Please let it be here.
And Specialty will be right back.
Hey, I have it. It's being sponsored by a nonprofit group from 4:30 until 9 o'clock. From 4:30 until 9 o'clock, November the 10th. Oh, no, it's November the 11th. Sorry about that. It's November 11th. The ceremony begins at 5:15. And they have music, a band. The band's called The Good Dudes. They're playing immediately after the ceremony. There's a kids station and face painting and coloring, food trucks, and a cash bar by the VFW. And there's a suggested donation of $10, but it's requested. I mean, they really want you to just donate $10. That's going to help, I'm assuming, the Veterans and Focus Clubhouse. We're working together, and it's also sponsored by KLFW Channel 10. And that's the 11th of November. I think that's a Saturday.
That I don't know.
Let's check. I got a calendar right here.
Yeah.
No, it's a Friday. It's a Friday. But it's after hours. It's after hours. 5:15 is after work, usually. So it's a nighttime event or late afternoon, early evening event. And so
will
everybody can go and have fun. I think I might go.
Yeah. I think the clocks are going to change by then, so it might be getting pretty dark by then.
Are we doing a fall back? We're changing the clock so we have more time to sleep?
I think so.
That's something to share too, because I didn't know.
As far as I'm not, it's still kind of.
They're trying to decide if they want to do it or not. Somebody said they wanted to just keep it daylight savings time all the time. I think that's weird.
Right.
That's a weird idea. I would rather it be the real time.
Well, I mean, that's, I hadn't, it kind of, if you look at the coordinated universal time and GMT or Zulu time or whatever you want to call it, where the goes through Greenwich, England, that's been kind of a, let's see here.
I'm looking it up too.
Yeah.
All my daylight savings.
November 6th.
Ends 2022. November the 6th. If they do change it, it will change on November the 6th.
Oh, they're going to change it, but I mean, whether or not they'll change, whether or not it'll be a permanent daylight savings. In the springtime change, the March, what is it? The
March
spring
whatever.
Forward thing.
Yeah, spring forward.
I mean, it may be from then on. It may be
regular time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but like I say, that when you look at
I hate springing forward. I'd rather stay backwards all the rest of my life.
Well, I tend to like the summertime time better, but
really?
There is it does kind of And I
If they're
guess,
going to change, they should just change your work hours, not change the time for everybody else.
well, I mean, when you get right down to it, Zulu time is the same anyway. You know, the Coordinated Universal Time or Greenwich Mean Time or whatever you want to call it, you know, because like right now, let's see, it's, what is it, 11:25 here, so that would be 16:25 Coordinated Universal Time. But the 1700 is noon, you know, at this time of year. And when it goes back, well, we're 5 hours difference than, you know, Greenwich Mean Time or Coordinated Universal Time or whatever you want to call it. And when we go to
they don't change overseas at every place, so it makes a difference between how much time's between you and other people in other countries. So
well, it does in some cases, you know, like some of the states here don't do it, you know.
Right. Like what, Illinois? Is Illinois split? Part of it does it and part of it doesn't?
I don't know, but
I think it's Indiana
or Arizona.
Indiana split.
That could be, but it's you know, I mean, if we just changed, it really, if we wanted to go to basically just change what our time zones, how our time zones related to, you know, UTC or Coordinated Universal Time or Greenwich Mean Time, whatever you want to call it, and just change it to where it was a 5 hour difference here always, instead of a 5 hour difference in daylight savings and a 6 hour difference in, you know, regular standard time. If we just made the standard time, changed it to the daylight savings time in all the places, and, you know, it would be, it would pretty much cover it. But then, I don't know. I'm sure you'd have some places, the places that don't have daylight savings time, they'd probably want to stay with the traditional, you know, changes. But the idea is to where if somebody's flying internationally, particularly when they're going east to west, then the people where they're going know what time they're going to be there. I mean, because it does. It's kind of like the, you know, where they have the, let's see, what is it, Stonehenge, where you have the cartoon of the people changing the stones around to, you know, set it up for daylight savings time. You know, it's
okay. Okay. Well, I'm ready to fall back on the 6th. Yeah. On the 6th of November. So no matter what, whatever the clocks read, the Veterans Day thing, the celebration begins at 5:15.
And that's in Tucson, right?
In Tucson. They don't have the address here, but there is an address. You can look it up.
It's in that usual top
post. They don't have the VFW post number, but it's off Ridge Road, Colorado. So, like, if you're in Lafayette, you head west.
Yeah.
On Ridge Road, and you'll come to Colorado, and you'll come to where the VFW is. It's kind of off the road. You have to go down a ways, and it's like in the middle of this big field. But there's a building there, and a tank, and a wall, and there'll probably be a tent.
Probably the only building with the tank out in front of it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I go through Tucson often, and I don't see it off of 90. I mean, maybe it is, and I just haven't.
It's not 90. You can't see it off of 90. It's off Ridge Road.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I can't, because then there'd be problems.
Yeah, because you missed it all this time. But
yeah. But well, that's but you're not aware of anything like that in Lafayette, just in Tucson, huh?
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be something, but I hadn't heard about it. I have heard about this.
And if any of our fans out there are aware of the celebration that we're not, feel free to make a comment.
Yeah, there might be something in the Foreign Legion. There may be another VFW post over there in Brobridge, you know, having something. It's pretty good ways for us to do that. Oh, I did a big research thing, just FYI, that's going to be in the Community Chronicles, I believe, that tell a lot about different road projects that are going on the west side. It's quite interesting. And some that are statewide, at least that they're on the way. We have this thing called a cable barrier that is working its way back to us, babe.
A what now? A cable barrier?
Cable barrier. Yeah.
What is a cable barrier?
A cable barrier is an innovative tool that keeps vehicles from, when they're out of control, crossing over the median into oncoming traffic, and catches them to where they can't bounce back into traffic and cause fatalities. That's directly almost out of the words of the public information officer for the Department of Transit and Development.
Sounds like the same department that made all these J turns.
No, that was Tommy or whatever his name is. Tony. What is his name?
Yeah. Tony kind of rings the bell.
Blame it on Tommy or Tony.
Yeah, I think it's Tony for some reason. But
yeah, I think so. He's credited with lots of interesting, innovative, creative ways to get from point.
Yeah, I wonder about this cable thing. I mean, that sounds.
They've had people calling up asking, why are you putting a sidewalk in the middle of the median?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's part of the construction thing. If they didn't do that, probably the mowers would have just a really heck of a time. But anyway, it's for the cable. It's for the cable barrier or barrier cable.
Interesting.
Yeah, you see them, that they have them up already on the road 10 going to New Orleans. If you look between the different directions of traffic, they've got them up already.
Well, yeah, I've seen those on interstate highways.
It's on the interstate. It's on I-10. So it's starting.
Oh, okay.
It's starting on the west side. They started on the west side because they didn't want to interfere with the traffic or all the construction that's going and taking place, like Bro Bridge to Henderson, where everything's like,
right.
Everybody's squished together. So they're starting from the west and it's making its way, like Charles and all that other stuff. So I think we got to go pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken.
Coming to an interstate near you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We might be getting kind of close, but our producer will probably
come on and give us a signal.
Our executive.
Time to stop, kids. Time to stop. Show's over.
Is it? You think we've done our second half pretty much, huh?
Close. I mean, we can just kind of talk about a little fluff here and there in the meantime, Anyway, we hope that all of you have a wonderful time today and tomorrow and all week long, and that you get to do some cool stuff. Just in case we're still on, I'd like to share that on the 12th at 8 o'clock in the morning at River Ranch, there's a walk for Alzheimer's research to raise money for that. The people who are walking don't have to bring money with them. They can just come and walk, but they ask that people register at, I guess, 8 o'clock. The walk starts at 9, and the walk's only about 1.5 miles. And if you want to stop after 10 feet, you have that prerogative.
Yeah. May take you a little bit longer if you stop every 10 feet.
Yeah, some of us are kind of, walking slow. And so might take us a little time to walk a mile. Hey, we're still on. Yay.
Yeah, it looks like we have another 3 minutes or so.
Not 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Hey, have they ever shot that missile off? Not the missile, the rocket to the moon yet? The Artemis?
No, I don't think so.
It hasn't gone up. It was going to go up the 30th of September. And
they're waiting for another window.
They had Ian. Yeah, Ian came.
Yeah, that kind
threw that all up. It was supposed to do it before then. They found something wrong with that they needed to look into.
Yeah, they were having links pertaining to the oxygen part of the fuel system.
So anyway,
No, wait. I mean, sorry. The hydrogen part of the fuel system.
Ah, okay.
And
Well, we don't want anything to go wrong. You know that that rocket is still on its way to Saturn. The one that they launched some time ago. You know, it kind of did a thing where it went slingshot around the moon, I think, and it did a slingshot around the moon, and it's on its way to Saturn.
I don't know, but you know, speaking of that, you know, they were shooting at that one of those asteroids.
Okay, yeah.
Artemis, and I think no, that was not Artemis. That was the moon rocket, but the starts with a D maybe. But the I watched that, you know, and you know, they bullseyed that
piece of skeet that was flying through the galaxy.
Well, it looked like it hit it dead center, because I mean they were showing. I mean, of course, this is taken. I don't know how long it takes for the signal to get from there to here, but you could see it, and each one would get closer, you know. And then the last one, it only filled about the top 10-15% of the screen, and that's when it hit, you know.
Cool.
And it knocked it. Yeah, it knocked it. It changed the orbit significantly.
Wow.
So it's
it worked. Okay.
It's a good idea, you know, possibility for
the
planetary defense system.
If they can
we don't
move
have
an
to get an
asteroid,
all crew out there.
you can get out and vote.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
One more reminder: go out and vote.
Yes.
Check your Go Vote thing. Make sure that you have your plan
GEAU
ready.
vote, and that's at the Louisiana Secretary of State.
GAUX.
Yeah, GAUX.
Have that X on the end.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. I guess. See y'all. Have a good one.